Hi guys, and welcome to Explore Storytime. Can you see something different in the background? That's right, we've had a birthday. But as you can see, happy birthday is written backwards. That's called mirror writing. And to actually see it, you have to get a mirror and let it reflect into the mirror. I hope I've made myself clear. Well, I hope so anyway. Well, I've got my cup of coffee. And I've got my book, which is The Midnight Gang, written by David Walliams. It's a brilliant book, so funny. And we're on chapter 45, which is called A One-Winged Pigeon. Okay, I'll start. Something or someone's in here, I know it, whispered Matron, as her torch grew light on the darkest corners of the room in the hospital basement. It's like a load of old junk to me, replied Mr. Fewles. Let's move on. No, replied Matron. That smell. The woman sniffed the stale air. It's strangely familiar. As he crouched in the porter's cardboard wardrobe, Tom had the strangest sensation. It felt like as if his little finger was being nibbled. And when he looked down, he saw that indeed it was. His little finger was being nibbled by a pigeon. Without thinking, the boy shook his hand to get the treasure off him, and this sent the poor pigeon skimming across the floor. Squawk! Squawked the bird. Ah! Screamed Matron. It's just a pigeon, said Mr. Fewes. I hate the dirty beasts. They're like rats with wings, nearly as bad as children. Now can we please move on, said the headmaster. Yes, she replied. I must inform the maintenance department to shoot that blasted creature at once. I would love to come down here myself with a bucket and drown it, but sadly I don't have enough time. That's a shame, said the headmaster. That would have been a pleasure. I'm so pleased you feel the same way as me, Mr. Fewes. I do love a touch of cruelty. Cruelty? What's cruelty? Cruelty. There's nothing more enjoyable. I like to be cruel to my pupils at St. Willets. That keeps them under my complete control. Any letters sent from family members, I burn them before they reach the boys. Tom's parents wrote every week, and I put their letters straight into the fire. Ha 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 ha! Tom couldn't believe what he was hearing. Oh, that must have given you so much pleasure. It does, Matron, it does. There's nothing better than the feeling of absolute power. Tom's stupid parents have called the hospital, desperate for news of their son, but I put the phone down straight on them. Ha ha! That nasty little insect deserves everything he gets. I can't wait until I get my hands on him. The punishment will be severe. The food in St. Willets. Oh, I'll make him eat cold cabbage every day for a year. The food at St. Willets is worse than that. Make him wash in bog water. The boys already have to do that. Make him run cross country in his pants. When it's snowing. What a wonderful, wicked idea, Mr. Fewes. Thank you, Matron. There's no time to lose. We must find that boy now. Let's split up. You check the deep freezer, Mr. Fewes. Some of the children were there the other day. Right away, Matron. And I'll check the boiler room. Do shout if you find the little worm. Oh, I will. The pair turned round and with the nurses in tow rushed off to continue their search. Then the sound of their footsteps were distant. The porter emerged under the mattress. What an evil pair, said Tom, his heart racing. They're as bad as each other, replied the porter, and he lit the candle, and the basement room flickered back into view. To Tom's surprise, the man rushed over and scooped up the stunned bird with his hands. "Why did you do that to Professor Pigeon?" he said. "Professor Pigeon?" asked Tom with a note of disbelief in his voice. "Yes, because she's ever so clever. She's my pet pigeon, and look, she only has one wing." Tom looked down, and indeed the bird had a stump where one of the wings should have been. "How did she lose it?" asked the boy. "She was born that way. Her mother turfed her out of the nest just after she had hatched. That's cruel." "That's what animals do. She was the runt of the litter, I suppose, just like me." Tom listened as the man stroked his pet pigeon and cooed in pleasure. "What do you mean?" "Well, it's only a couple of hours old. When my mum left me at the steps of the hospital. I'm so sorry. She left me here in the middle of the night. No one saw her face." "So you have no idea where your mother is, or was?" "No, but I forgive her, and I miss her too, even though I never knew her." Why did she leave you here?" "I suppose Mum hoped that I would be looked after better at the hospital. Maybe she thought the doctors and nurses would help me and do something about this." The porter pointed to his misshaped face and tried to smile through the pain. "I'm so sorry," said the boy. "Don't be sorry," said Mr. Thomas. "Mr. Thomas, sir, I still love my mother, and wherever she may be. No one wanted to adopt me, so Lord Funt, who founded the hospital, let me stay in the children's ward. Funt was a kind man, not like this new fellow. Amber told me the Midnight Gang began on the ward years ago and has been passed down through the patients." "That's right, but no one knows the child who started the gang. Do you know?" "Yes, I do," replied the porter, and the old man smiled to himself. "Who is it then?" the boy asked, his eyes widening in excitement. "It was me," replied the porter. "I was the child that started the Midnight Gang." Well, we see you tomorrow for the next story. I hope you enjoyed that one as I did. Bye-bye.